We're going to start seated today. If you'd like a bolster, a blanket, or a block to start, please feel free to get one underneath your butt. And we'll start in easy seated pose. In whatever position is comfortable enough for you. And allowing our hands to fall wherever they may, possibly on our thighs. Taking a few deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. Filling our lungs full with air and sighing it out. One more deep breath in. And exhaling a little bit longer than the inhale. And then allowing our breath just to assume its natural rhythm. In through the nose and out through the nose. Keeping our spines tall and elongated. Noticing where the breath comes into our body. And the exhale, the pause at the end of each one. Filling our abdomen full and expanding the rib cage laterally. Taking a moment to run through a body scan from head to toe. Noticing all of the sensations throughout the body, not missing a single part. Noticing the energy. Perhaps there's lightness or heaviness. Perhaps you feel comfort or discomfort in different parts of the body, noting each sensation along the way. Noticing the rhythm of our breath. The inhalation is as steady as the exhalation. Setting an intention for today's practice if you wish, or perhaps an affirmation we may carry through us and through our practice today. Taking another deep breath in through the nose, drawing in new energy. Exhaling any judgment, expectation, or competition. Removing the blocks from underneath us. We'll come into staff pose. Linda, I recommend you remain elevated. We'll come into staff pose, flexing the feet. And we're just going to start with a nice tall upper body and roll the ankles around. Let's add the wrists into it, possibly in one direction. Let's change direction of the feet and the wrists. Drawing some awareness to the ankles, the feet, the toes, the hands. And let's go ahead and point and flex the toes and the feet. Extending the circulation throughout the whole body. Drawing the toes all the way back. Deep inhale, elongating the spine. Pausing at the top. And exhale, lower down with the shoulders and the feet. Good. Let's bring our feet in together, the soles of our feet. Coming into butterfly. Good. And first off, we're going to inhale And start lowering our bodies, circling around, holding on to the outside of our knees for a little leverage, as deeply or as shallow as suits your body today. Finding our rhythm and our own speed. Rounding out in Sufi circles. Starting to engage the shoulders, the lower back, the abdomen. Noticing all of the sensations you may be feeling. And not ascribing any word to the sensations, just noting that they are there. One more time in this direction. And then we'll switch directions. And releasing any judgment of what we may look like. Just rolling in circles to the flow of our breath. Come to a still position, reaching around to the fronts of our feet, pressing the knees towards the flow, hinging at the hips, elongating the spine. Feel a pinch. Okay. So as in motion, what are we tapping into today? Inhale, rise back up, extending the legs long once again in staff pose. Good. Again, if you'd like to elevate, you are welcome to. This time we're pressing our hands all the way out in front. On the inhale, we'll lift the arms up. On the exhale, we'll cactus the arms and round out. Interlace the palms. Inhale, lifting up. Elongating the spine. Exhale, cactus arms, sliding shoulders down the spine and rounding out. We'll repeat this. Opening our bodies, keeping them open and flexible. Lowering our chins to chest on the exhale. Gentle arch of the lower back on the inhale. Feeling a little bit of opening in the back of the legs. Let's do 2 more. And we'll hold here, allowing the arms to fall where they will. Chins are to chest. Keeping the feet flexed, toes are pointed to the sky. And once again, we'll draw the feet back in together into our last butterfly. Soles of the feet are together. Whatever works for you. Inhale, we're bringing our arms behind our backs, lifting our chests. Exhale, we're going to curl forward gently. Inhale, we're reaching our arms up. Exhale, let's lower to one side. Inhale, both arms up. Exhaling, lower to the other side. Rising up gently. Twisting here on the exhale. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, twisting to the other side. And we'll do that flow again. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, hands come behind the back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lifting. Exhale, side bend. Finding our flow. Other side. Gentle twists. Listening to our bodies and going to the flow of our breath. Reaching behind our backs. Exhale, forward press. Rising up in between. Good. Side bends. Trusting our body and our breath to guide our movements to a safe speed. Let's go through one more flow. Coming behind our backs. Exhale, pressing forward. Side bend. Rising up. Side bend. Gentle twists. One last time, rising up and hinging forward, allowing the arms to fall where they will. Rounding out the lower back, maybe even pressing the knees towards the floor. Chins are to chest. And the next inhale, we'll press ourselves back up to an erect spine. Great. And we'll roll gently into all fours. Good. Coming into a cat-cow position. We're slowly going to roll our torsos laterally, forward, back, finding again a flow that works best for your body today. Feeling the grounding of our knees, our feet, our hands into the mat. And again, not worrying about what we look like, just going with our flow. Finding organic movement. Pushing the ribs out. Lifting and lowering. Noticing what's happening with our breath, where we might be holding some areas of tension, blocked energy. One more circle in this direction, and then we'll switch directions. Flexion again, feeling the shifting of our weight from hand to hand, foot to foot. One more circle in this direction. And we're going to come back and do the opposite side again, this time adding the head in one direction. Start rolling the neck and the head. change directions, allowing ourselves to find a new flow, recreating new patterns in the body and the mind, creating new neural pathways. Connecting both hemispheres of our brain by changing directions and really challenging ourselves. Probably feeling a little bit wonky or wobbly. Pushing through it for one more circle. And then coming back to a sense of calm. Knees are underneath the hips, hands are under the shoulders. Now we're going to bring our right foot up into a lunge position. Curling the left toes under. And we're just going to make some big hip circles here. In one direction, you may want to walk the foot out to the edge of the mat. Pressing and rounding. Change directions. Drawing our awareness to any sensations we may have. Again, not ascribing a word to them. It's not good, bad, painful, or uncomfortable. It just is a sensation. And all of our sensations are temporary. One more time. And let's sink forward on the inhale and backwards on the exhale. Inhale, sinking forward. Exhale, pressing back, lifting the toes off the mat. Working the back of the leg. And now opening the hip flexor, finding a flow backwards and forwards. Finding our blocks for support as needed. Sinking a little bit deeper with each exhale. Not pressing too hard. We don't want to create stress today that will transfer from the body to the mind. Just bringing our awareness out to all these new sensations. Let's do 2 more. And then we'll all meet in our forward lunge position. Support or not, sinking a little bit deeper. Go ahead and lift our left arm, extending it in front of us, and then bending and twisting slightly over top of the right knee. If you feel your left hip flexor light up, just pull back a little bit. And we don't want to create stress. But perhaps you'll find a loosening or a release of tension. Good. Let's come back to center. Lifting the arm this time over the shoulder, and we'll come into a side bend. And listening to our bodies. Listening to our breath. If it's labored at all, perhaps we just want to pull back and ease off. Last breath here. And let's press up out of that. Bringing our hands back down to the ground. We'll sink all the way back into child's pose in between legs. Shifting our hips left to right if that feels comfortable. Allowing our heads to hang in an extended child's pose. On the next inhale, we'll draw ourselves back into all fours. This time bringing our left leg up to the edge of the mat into our low lunge. Very good. Using our mat for support as needed. Right on. On the inhale, we bend forward, opening up the hip flexor. On the exhale, we sink backwards, lifting our front toes. Finding our flow to the rhythm of our breath. Let's do 2 more. And then we'll all meet in our forward lunge once you've done your 2. Holding here, finding the grounding of our left foot to the mat and the top of our right foot. Tall upper bodies, like there's a string attached to our heads. And if you'd like to lift your right arm and rotate over the left lunge leg, you are welcome to try. Finding our blocks on the side for stability as needed. Rotate back to center, pressing up, lifting the right arm above the shoulder and into a side bend again, finding the blocks as needed. Listening to the psoas, the hip flex to the right side of the body. Now we'll roll out of that, gently windmilling the hands down to the mat. Stepping back again into child's pose, this time with the knees at the edges of the mat and the toes are together, pressing back, extended, or bringing our foreheads down to the mat, whatever feels most comfortable. Checking in with our breath. Checking that we're breathing laterally and filling up the rib cage. Expanding the container of our chest. And on the next inhale, we'll pull ourselves back up into all fours. This time stepping our right leg through again. Curling the toes under on our left foot, pressing all the way up into a higher lunge. We're going to do a similar flow, this time inhaling and exhaling. Pulling the back foot up, finding our stability. Listening to the body. If you'd rather go back down to your knee, you are welcome to. Two more. And we'll come into our warrior two pose here. Front foot is extended forwards, back foot is perpendicular, and we'll reach out with our arms parallel to the floor, gazing over the front arm. Holding here for two more breaths. Feeling the calm strength of our legs. On the next inhale, we'll reverse warrior, turning our front palm upwards. Holding here. Breathing into the side body. Reaching our arm, elongating the spine. And then windmilling the arms all the way over the right leg into our extended side angle. Pressing the hips forward. And reaching with the left arm as strong as we can, or drawing it behind the back if that's more accessible today. Breathing into the left side body. Go through a small flow here with a reverse angle, reverse warrior, and an extended side angle. Finding a gentle flow, possibly straightening that front leg and coming into a triangle. Feeling whatever flow works best for you today. Bending, straightening, moving through the flow. Two more breaths. And we'll all meet up in triangle, allowing the right arm to fall wherever it will naturally. Again, letting go of any expectation as to where the hand should be, holding into that left side body, reaching with the left hand. Windmilling the left hand down to reach the right, bending the front knee. And we'll step back into a down dog. Taking a few moments here to pedal out what we've done on the right side. Shifting our weight into each angle, alternating sides, going to your speed. Allowing the body to dictate what it needs. And we'll come back to center, pressing both heels towards the mat. We'll come up on our toes, gazing forward, lifting our left foot and walking it up. We'll come through our flow on the left side, finding support on the left knee and stability in that back foot. Inhale, pressing forward. Exhale, coming back, lifting the front toes, finding our stability and our grounding as we move through. Letting our breath guide us. Two more. Good. We'll come into warrior two here. With the right foot is perpendicular to the left. Forward facing. Good. Finding our gaze over the left extended fingers. And drawing our awareness back to the breath. Perfect. Coming into a reverse warrior, flipping our front palm. And allowing the right arm to fall where it will along the back of the leg. Noticing any new sensations here, perhaps running along the lower back, perhaps even through the hips. On the next exhale, we'll come into our extended side angle, bringing our left arm to our left knee, holding here for a few breaths, opening up the right chest and arm, drawing our shoulder back, blades back. Good. And on the next inhale, we'll windmill into a gentle flow. Straightening the leg if you like. Finding a flow that works for you. One more breath. And then we'll all come into triangle, allowing the left hand to fall where it will, remaining in the right side body, reaching up or wrapping our arm around our back, finding our grounding in our feet. Strong calm here. Lower the right hand to meet the left, bending the left knee. Come all the way back down and step back into down dog. Good. This time we'll shift the hips left to right. Finding our calm stability, pressing both heels towards the mat. Good. And we'll slowly walk the feet into the hands, bending the knees. Rolling up gently. Stacking one vertebrae at a time, shoulders, neck, and head. Coming all the way up to standing. Slowly rounding out our hips, nice and gently. One more in this direction. And then we'll change directions. Drawing the knee out behind and rounding it out. One more on each side. We'll go ahead and step wide on our mats. Coming into sunflowers. On the inhale, we lift our arms. On the exhale, we sink. Scooping the earth below. Warming our inner thighs. And again, one motion, one breath. Finding a flow that matches our breath. Do 3 more. Bringing our hands all the way up. We'll wiggle our feet in to about hip width. And as if we're pulling down on a rope, we're shifting our weight, shifting into our hips, left and right. Pulling our dreams from the stars above, drawing them into us. Clearing all of the toxins, keeping our immune systems charged and strong with all of these vigorous movements. Getting the heart pumping, the blood circulating. And just increasing our vitality and immunity. 2 more on each side. And we'll do a side bend in one direction, allowing the arm to fall down along the side. Elongating the spine at the same time as we're drawing air between the ribs. Rolling forward and bringing the opposite arm over the head. Side bend opposite direction. Again, elongating, drawing air between each of the ribs. And we'll roll forward again, coming into a forward fold. Hinging all the way forward, allowing our torsos to hang heavy and long. Perhaps you want to shift your weight left to right, grabbing the inside of your elbows if that feels good. Feeling our lower backs, hamstrings open up. Visualizing water flowing down the back of our legs, releasing any tension we may be storing. slowly coming to stillness. Rolling ourselves up gently, stacking one vertebrae at a time, shoulders, neck, and head. Grabbing a sip of water if you'd like at this point. We're going to do 2 more dynamic moves, and then we'll be back on our mats, on the butt. Making our wisdom mudra, bringing our thumbs and our index fingers together. We're going to pump our hands up with one leg at a time. We'll alternate legs and move around our mats. You can bring the legs narrow, wide. Traveling around, connecting our minds with our bodies, and again, recreating new patterns and neurological pathways. Increasing our vitality and immunity function. Perfect for days like these. Good. For a few more breaths. And coming back to standing with our feet underneath our hips. And this time we're going to move our arms, swinging them left and right while bringing our heels off the ground. Very good. Again, finding our flow, whatever works. Feeling the biceps extend, perhaps the chest opening up. Activating our Ujjayi breath for stillness and calm within our bodies, restoring our own inner balance. Using yoga to restore our balance rather than, well, maybe not chocolate. Chocolate I'd never quit. Maybe some wine. We can decrease the wine and increase our yoga. A few more. Good. And once again, coming back to stillness. Taking a moment to do a quick body scan from head to toe. Noticing any new sensations, vibrations, energy that may be pumping and flowing. And we're going to add in 5 of our prenatal squats today. So finding our distance so that we can squat down into Malasana, inhaling, rising all the way up, hands to heart, and squatting down. Allowing ourselves to hinge forward and come up like a ragdoll. Stacking the vertebrae one at a time, shoulders, neck, head. And when you're ready to inhale again, lifting the arms, sinking down, and stacking and rolling. Finding your rhythm. We'll do 2 more. And let's come back to standing and just bounce, rock, dance, shake, whatever works, putting smiles on our faces, living our most joyous, carefree, and happy life. Shaking up the energy while we can, any chance we can, anytime we feel we need. Again, just letting go of any competition or expectation, judgment. Who cares what we look like? Let's just live our best life. Two more breaths. And one more time, inhale, rising up, hands to heart, and we'll sink down. Malasana, let's hold here. Finding a distance of our feet where we're feeling stable, pressing our arms into our knees to elongate the spine. Perhaps rolling the eye gaze into the third eye, wherever it may help us get through any challenging moments we may face, coming back to our happy place. And let's release our hands down to the mat, come into rock pose on our knees. We won't be here for very long. You're welcome to put a block in between the legs for a passive rock pose if that feels better. And then let's go ahead and wrap our arms into eagle arms. We're going to start, inhale, lifting the arms up, exhale, lowering them down. And if you'd like to add an arm, reach over the head with a back bend, and then a spinal curl, you are welcome to. Listening to the body, lifting on the inhale, lowering on the exhale, however that works for you today. We'll do 2 more. Warming the breath along the back of our throats and navel cavity to activate the Ujjayi breath. Releasing out of that. And we'll go ahead and change our arm position, bringing the palms together as possible, starting off this time with our toes curled under our shins. You know it's not long now. Lifting and lowering the arms with the breath. One motion, one breath. Noticing what's happening in the back, in the shoulders, the neck, the jaw. And again, if you'd like to add in a bit of a cat-cow motion, you are welcome. Go ahead and release the arms. Release the feet, tap them out. Good. And we'll lower all the way down, extending our legs wide for a wide angle. Flexing our feet, pressing ourselves forward. And we'll start with a side flow. Inhale, lifting the arm. Exhale, coming back to center. Inhale, bending to the other side, flowing to your speed. Keeping the toes flexed, pointing up to the sky. Welcome to add a rotation, a gentle swirling and swooping. Opening up the inner thighs a little bit. One more on each side. And then we'll hold wherever we are into our side bend, reaching towards the foot, perhaps the shin, the knee. Whatever is comfortable. Lifting our heart center, our chest, drawing our shoulder blade back. And we'll swoop forward and come over to the other side. Again, no competition of where we should be. Drawing the shoulder blade back towards the spine, opening up our heart center. And we'll lower forward, swooping all the way around, and we'll forward fold here onto our forearms, using our blocks as needed, hinging at the hips. Perhaps supporting ourselves with our hands. Again, keeping our feet flexed so as not to roll forward. And allowing ourselves to ease into it. Again, perhaps here's where we want to find our third eye. Focusing on our happy place. Breathing through the tightness, any blocked energy, letting it go, letting go of what doesn't serve us and hanging on to what does. Same goes for the pain in our bodies that often we hold as emotion. Allowing ourselves to go through it, embrace it, acknowledge it, and let it go. Exhale, we'll press ourselves up gently, bringing our feet back into the center, into an easy seated position. We're going to finish today's class with some breath work and a keep up. A keep up. So, we're strong together. You're welcome to find any position that works best for you. And our keep up is going to be 3 minutes. Try and challenge yourselves. I know you can all do it. I'll talk you through it. So we've got 3 minutes. We're going to bring our hands all the way parallel to the floor and make fists, opening and closing. Once again, you're welcome to find a breath that works for you, perhaps box breathing, or perhaps gazing up to the third eye, thinking about our happy place, the smells, the temperature, the colors. Knowing that all of the sensations in our bodies are temporary. And as soon as we move or we change our position, those sensations change. Just like our emotions, energy, and our situation in life. Reminding ourselves that these things are temporary, they will pass. And that we are strong enough to get through each of the moments of transition or challenge. Sometimes we just need to remind ourselves how strong we are, how powerful we are. And the moment that we want to stop or quit, perhaps that's when we need to push through. Build up our strength and our endurance and the confidence that we have in ourselves. And not thinking about the sensations as negative, good or bad, they're just sensations. Recognizing the effort that we're making here today. And the time we're spending on ourselves, our practice, creating new patterns, new attitudes, new perspectives. Oh, you've only got 10 seconds left. You're doing great. Keep it up. If you can do this, coming back to the breath, not focusing on the discomfort that we may be feeling, but focusing on the breath. It will get us through. 2 more seconds. Let's go ahead and release the arms back down to our thighs. Recognizing how quickly those sensations change. The effort that we put in, that we are able to get through these challenging moments, focusing on something more positive or steady, like our breath. Bringing our hands to heart center in prayer. Taking a few deep breaths in through the nose, drawing in new energy. Exhaling any residual tension. One more. And again, allowing the hands to fall back where they will. With smiles on our faces, we bring gratitude to our hearts and minds. Thankful for the opportunity to practice together. Thanking our families for enabling us to be here. And perhaps giving thanks to something somebody may have done or said that made you feel loved or put a smile on your face. Coming back to the sounds and the smells of the space around us. When you're ready to blink your eyes open and come back, taking with us this sense of gratitude and calm strength. Thank you all for joining.